Okay, so let's talk about three different things that I want to ask you to do with this function. I'm going to ask you to find the x-intercept. The two other words that x-intercept are, they're synonyms to, are roots and zeros. In this case, because this is a function, I'm actually looking for the zeros of this function. And to find the x-intercept, what we're going to do is we're going to do 0 equals f of x. That basically means we're going to take the equation and set it equal to 0. I want to find the y-intercept. To find the y-intercept, we're going to do f of 0. All right. And then from here, I'm also going to ask you end behavior. And the end behavior, if you remember, we need to know the leading coefficient, and we need to know the degree of the polynomial, if it's even or odd. So let's walk through each one of these. The x-intercept at first, all we're going to do is set this equation equal to 0. So we're going to have 0 equals x minus 3 times x plus 4 squared and x minus 9 cubed. From here, you learn in Algebra 2 that we have a property called the zero product property. It means that we set each one of these products, each one of these terms to 0. So we want to have x minus 3 equals 0. We're going to have x plus 4 squared equals 0. And then we're going to have x minus 9 cubed equals 0. But when you solve each one of these, my x is going to be 3, my x is going to be negative 4, and my x is going to be 9. So those are my x values. Now my x-intercept is a point, so I'm going to want it as a point. Well, what's really nice is all of my y values are 0. So for this case, my x-intercepts are going to be the point 3, 0, negative 4, 0, and 9, 0. Done. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. My y-intercept, what that tells me to do is to put 0 in for all of my x's. So this is the x. So here's my y. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do 0 minus 3 times 0 plus 4 squared and 0 minus 9 cubed. All right, well, that's easy enough. We're going to do order of operations. This is going to give me 3 times 4 squared times 9 cubed. This is going to give me 3 times 16 times, I don't know what 9 cubed is, I just made this problem up. So whatever 81 times 9 is should be 729, I believe, but let me double check. 9 times 9. Yep, 729. And then we just multiply those times 3 times 16, not doing that in my head, which gives me 34,992. That is the x, that is going to be my y value of my x-intercept. And of course, this is a point. So that's what's really nice is every y-intercept is going to be 0. That's why we plug 0 in for all the x's. We do the math, and we're going to get 34,992. I'm not going to put the comma there. And that is my y-intercept. Now my end behavior, this is going to look a little different than what we've been doing so far. But when I have it broken in fully factored form, what we're going to do is we're going to add the exponents to see the degree. I'm not going to ever give you a leading coefficient other than 1 when I give it to you in this, because it gets a little bit more complicated trying to figure out what the actual leading coefficient is. So if I give it to you in fully factored form like this, your leading coefficient will always be a positive 1, but the key is going to be the degree. So to find the degree, I'm just going to add 3 plus 2 plus 1 is 6. Well, that's an even number. And then with my even number, my leading coefficient is positive. So tentatively, well, I know this graph is going up like this, but that's not how I want it written. I'm going to want it written in limit notation. So I'm going to say the limit as x approaches negative infinity. So as x is going this way, my graph is always going up. Of my graph f of x, that's actually going to infinity. And then, of course, then I have my limit as x approaches infinity. So as the graph is going this way, it's also always going up. So here's my f of x, and that is going to be approaching infinity, and that's how you find the end behavior. With these, just add up the exponents. Your leading coefficient in this scenario is always going to be a positive 1. I'm pretty nice to you on this, but you got to remember to add the exponents up. Hi, I'm Mr. Buzzard, and these videos are supplemental instruction for my students. If you found the video enjoyable, make sure you click the like button and click subscribe, as well as the bell for notifications to receive future videos on high school mathematics.